Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Play On Podcast with your hosts, Jerry and Jesse. This is episode 69, and this week we'll be talking about the Club World Cup final.
Club World Cup final just happened. Jesse, this was the most unpredictable thing unless you were a Chelsea fan. I was for a fact certain and I would have bet the house if I was still betting man on PSG, but thankfully I didn't. Um, it shocked the world of football because the best team in Europe just got destroyed by Chelsea, who was still kind of ragtagging and like whatever, building their squad somehow. I thought their defense wasn't going to be enough, but they came up with a master plan. Maresca, there's all the merit he gets. Just solved it tactically and probably beat one of the best coaches of all time.
Yeah, it was very surprising. I would have like you said, I was if I was I am a betting man, I would have put my money on PSG. Luckily, I didn't. And I think that my biggest fault was going to be that Chelsea defense. Like I said, I think the center backs are lacking. Also, but especially their goalkeeper, Roberto Sanchez, I'm not a big fan of. I think they've needed to get a clear-cut number one for a while now. But he had a great performance this final and made me shut up a little bit. But I gotta see it for a full season before I'll be
Yeah,
convinced.
because going into this tournament, there was still the question marks on who was going to be the goalkeeper because they were switching out between him and I forgot what the other goalkeeper's name is.
Jorgensen.
And they kind of went back to Jorge Sanchez. What's his name? Sanchez. They went back to Sanchez. I don't even want to guess his first name at this point. They went back to him, and he's been like putting on a great performance. This match, he was just. I'm pretty sure he took off like three really good chances away from PSG, and if Hardy secured himself a job, maybe Chelsea's gonna stop looking for a goalkeeper. I know SV's probably hoping they still look for another one. But yeah, I think I know Cole Palmer won man of the match, but if they had to pick someone else, it should have been him.
Yeah, he had very good performance. Like I said, he probably took away a goal away from PSG that might have let them slip back into the game. But like I'm still not convinced by him. Like I've said, I still think they need a clear cut number one. I know they were linked to Magnan for a while. I still think he would be a better fit. And they're also selling Petrovic. I can't remember to who, but yeah, he was basically iced out the squad. So I still think there's questions around that goalkeeper position. But yeah, I think Maresca set Chelsea up in a very good spot to attack PSG and its weaknesses that have been shown by Bayern Munich in the match because they did struggle against that match, and I think they followed a similar plan to that and attacked it. And they also, I think they spotted out that one weakness in the PSG squad that, you know, hasn't been really been able to be challenged in the past couple games with what's his name? Beraldo
Hmm.
with in the quarterfinal with two of their center backs getting straight red cards and not being able to play. I think they finally had the chance to expose him because I know PSG have been looking to sign a center back this summer. Basically, Bournemouth's entire backline is getting picked apart because Kirkes went to Liverpool, Howson went to Real Madrid, and I know the other center back, the Ukrainian one, I can't say his name, but yeah, I know he's been linked to PSG as well.
Yeah, those two goals that Chelsea did score from Palmer did end up, they were the exact same goal, let's be honest. It's the
Hmm.
exact same goal, fake the pass, went cut it in the left again, and just shot at the bottom left corner. And it was both times Beraldo. And yeah, like you said, they're showing weakness in his game. There's a reason he got sat out for the Ecuadorian Pacho. I think at this point he's like a fourth choice center back because even Lucas Hernandez was coming on before him. So yeah, PSG got exposed. Again, we're gonna go over their tactics a bit, and we're gonna debate on whether it was five in the back, Chelsea tactic that won the match, or the congested midfield. Um, but yeah, if anything, what we both kind of agree on, it was a counter attack. To shoot up the ball to the left back or right back because they're gonna be pushed far up, and just expose them and try to attack fast as you can. But
Yeah,
you go ahead. Meanwhile, I'll pull up the screen meanwhile you're talking.
yeah, I think it was a flaw in Luis Enrique because I don't know if it's like the summer heat or overconfidence or over reliance on the team because even when uh PSG weren't looking well, there was usually a quick decision on substitutions, and this time I felt like he dragged a bit, and the substitutions that he didn't make sense for me. Because the one I do want to call out is he did take out Kvaratskhelia, who I believe was their best attacker throughout the game. He was
Hmm.
actually putting pressure, creating chances, and doing things. But instead, he subbed him out and put in Barcola. I think he should have taken out Desiree Dewitt, who hasn't had the best Club World Cup campaign. I don't know if it's fatigue or what, but he was severely lacking. He wasn't showing the same as he did in the previous season or same season, but like in the Champions League.
Yeah, and right here, Sofa score again. This is why you can't go off of Sofa score, guys. Like even the ratings, like sure, some of them do make sense, but sometimes they don't. Like Dewitt was one of the highest performing PSG players according to the Sofa score, but we saw him; he wasn't even present in the game. Um, yeah, it was a lot of things. Tactically, I just think. Maresca just put five in the back, had or even six in the back. I don't know what you would call it, but it was just making it hard for PSG to attack the wing backs. Oh my God, what is going on? There we go. It was just making it difficult for PSG to even have that way of attacking. I think he was making them go vertical as much as possible down the middle, but PSG refused to do that because again, they don't have a striker. They're playing Dembele as a false nine, and he drifts off to the left and right wing. So, oh my God.
See, and this is where I disagree upon because if you look at the heat map, which is exactly why I told you to bring this up, if you look at the heat map, he wasn't really playing a five in the back. It was more a four in the back, and then a congested midfield with Enzo Fernandez, Reece James, and Moises Cancelo. They packed it, so they really didn't allow Fabian Ruiz, Joao Neves, and Vitinha to do anything in that midfielder. So they were going around them, and with that, he pulled in both Pedro Neto and Cole Palmer to basically shield that defense where they wouldn't allow them to go any around it. So PSG was literally just going around hoping to something happen. And then that's when both fullbacks, Mendes and Hakimi, who are both very offensively capable, were going up. And then once they got the ball, because PSG's passing was very lax throughout the game, they would go for that quick counter and attack those center backs, especially like how we've said Beraldino. But like both Neto and Joao Neves, or not Joao Neves, Joao Pedro and Palmer, they're very quick and very decisive when it comes to counterattacks. They're very
Yeah.
good at that. So, and especially like we said, that weakness of Beraldino, they just called it, they just cut him out and then scored. They were decisive in their chances and didn't let it go.
Yeah, and then also a quick shout out to Caicedo. Played in a remarkable match. He was helping a lot on the wings as well. So it's not just him staying central. That's why I don't think it was like too much compact in the midfield. I think it was packing the wings. Like it was just a straight line of, I don't know, like a whole defensive line. And it was worked tactically beautifully because they had Cole Palmer running down back. But like, yeah, again, I agree with the, oh my God, I'm going to the wrong side. I agree with when it comes to what is going on? I agree that Cole Palmer and Pedro Neto are a super attacking, what is it called? Like a deadly duo when it comes to attacking, especially on counterattacks. Like you can't predict what they're gonna do, especially how Pedro Neto plays. That's why I love how he plays. He cuts in a lot and he's so fast with it. And then when he wants to shoot, he shoots.
Well, I mean, especially I want beginning of this season because before he went to Chelsea pretty late, he played against them and he was like a one-man wrecking crew. He was literally a one-man counter-attacking team because he would be like the driving force of that Wolves team,
Yeah.
and he would just sometimes just take the ball and carry it between like four defenders and make a chance out of it. And it happened again.
Yeah, he went back to his old ways. Again, what a player. That's why I struggle to see Chelsea's like direction when it comes to signing players because they have a great wing. Sure, sign them up, sign a backup for Pedro Neto, for Cole Palmer, but you're signing like six backups. So it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. Even SP was telling me, huge Chelsea fan. He was telling me that now with this money, they think they're gonna go for Rodrigo now. And it still doesn't make sense to me. Like another winger, really. And because Rodrigo, his best side is the left side. So yeah, here going back to the tactical viewpoint. This is Moises Caicedo's heat map. Shows he was heavily on the left side, still a little bit on the right, but this guy's just everywhere. So it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
determine. They found the clear cut, what would you say, like N'Golo Kante replacement, similar to him. N'Golo Kante still, I think,
I wouldn't go that
that's
far.
what
I
I was gonna
wouldn't.
say. That's what I was gonna say. N'Golo Kante is still he's the peak of that position. In this match, I think Caicedo did a great job playing. How many defensive interceptions did he have? He had shots blocked. Ground duels, he won. It was 9 ground duels. He won 4. He lost possession 3 times. He was fouled. He had 5 fouls. He had 1 interception and 3 tackles. He got dribbled past 0 times.
Also, when looking at those fouls, I also want to say I think the game that the referee played or allowed them to play also favored Chelsea because they were, as showed by the end of the match, where there was obvious tempers flaring. They allowed them to be very aggressive and get in some hard fouls early on to let them know, like the midfielder, especially like against Vitinha and Joao Neves, where they were like they made their presence known where they'll give them a hard attack and be like, oh, you're not gonna be able to easily turn around here. So they were able to get in those fouls early on, and while the referee, because he was very reluctant to give cards until like a certain point, they got in those fouls early, so the players would have to get wary of them, and especially positionally. That's why I also want to say like that congested midfielder, things like that, like that's what was a very key point for me.
Yeah, I could see it. Again, referee, I don't know if I like how he managed the game. What I did like is the tempo of the game. He didn't cut it off too much when there was a couple of fouls, but he let the players play because he didn't let too many small fouls interrupt the game. Again, like you said, it benefits into Moises Caicedo's specific play style because that man gets so many yellow cards. It's almost a guaranteed yellow card every time he plays,
Hmm.
and especially him not getting one so early on in the game just helps him out so much because he gets to do so much on the field. And if he wants to do a hard tackle like towards the end of the game and just be an absolute nuisance, he can definitely do that. And it allowed him to do it. I think he did end up getting a yellow card at the end. Yeah, I don't want to
Well,
mess
even
with
even Enzo Fernandez, he was, as you can see throughout the game, he was also talking a lot and
him.
trying to get in the heads of the PSG players, and which he clearly did because they were arguing with him for a good amount of time. I think they just, played some old school Chelsea games where they were playing uh how would I say without getting no revenue for us, you know. Um
Who's just being what would you say?
Chelsea were playing with those dark tactics of the olden days where, get the hard foul, a little, give them a little extra, and then also talking to them about it to make sure they weren't focused on the game. They were more focused on, getting back at them.
Yeah, and the first one that came after the first goal was Hakimi. Like he's not really known to react when something happens, especially on the pitch or anything like that.
Hmm.
But the first goal happened, and he was clearly talking to Enzo Fernandez, and he was not happy about it. I wonder what he said to him. I know there's a lip reader out there. If it was Spain, they would have got it by now and put it on the headlines. But yeah, I want to know what he said to him because it clearly got into his head. And a lot of players like Nuno Mendes, even when Liam Delap, is that his name, the striker?
Yeah,
He
Liam
went into
Delap.
the game. He was going at it with Nuno Mendes, and at the end, like of that little interaction, a bunch of PSG players started surrounding him and started talking crap. But the lap was acting like nothing ever happened. But
Well,
yeah, this is Pedro's. You can see my screen, right?
yeah.
Pedro Neto's heat map. He was just stuck on that left side the whole time, and that's exactly what you need. Look how much time he spent over here, specifically in this corner. Like, what are you doing there? You know? But
Yeah.
it clearly shows how deep he went, especially like the only reason you're up there in that specific spot of the in the pitch and so often there is because again, like you said, you're playing that solo game and just trying to extend the ball as much as you can. How many people did he get past the ball? He had 0 dribble attempts? Jesus.
See. I think this is where like it differs because the long ball would be sent through, and then he would, get past his defender through that. So I
Hmm.
don't know if that counts as a dribble pass, and especially sometimes he would just hold the ball and then pass it through.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they it's considered.
All right, and this is Joao Pedro's. So far, he's been a great signing and an immediate impact compared to the lab. The lab seems to be struggling. I wouldn't say struggling. Again, just not getting used to it. He came into the club like a couple of weeks before this tournament, a couple of weeks after the tournament started, and didn't get adjusted instantly. Joao Pedro is the opposite. He came in, started scoring instantly, and making an impact.
Well, I think Joe Pedro, it made sense stylistically in the sense that, like we said, Chelsea was playing counterattacking, and him with the speed and dribbling, it made it easier for him to be able to do
Hmm.
this. Meanwhile, Dunlap, I think will be a I think he's like a different option. Similar, I think like to Real Madrid had with Joselu. Like when they're playing a low block, they'll be able to center the ball in and have him header, or also be just like that postman. I don't think he's as pacey or as skillful on the ball as Joao Pedro.
Yep,
So
I
just
agree.
having that stylistic change off the bench will, I think, will make him look better,
Hmm.
especially because Chelsea won't be able to play this style against everyone, especially against lower tier teams in the Premier League, where they'll, you know, teams will congest just a back line and have like 10 people in the back and hope for a point. But yeah, I think the lap will shine better in that situation.
Agreed. I didn't really think of it like that, but yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, Joao Pedro just super. Give me if I see space, I'm running into it because look at his heat
Mhm.
map. He's everywhere. So he helped a lot Palmer in like the overlaps on the right side because that's why it's so heavily linked right here. And same thing with Pedro Neto. He was just making those overlap runs and helping out the team as much as he can.
Well, I think the biggest improvement for this Chelsea team is the buying into the plan of Enzo Maresca, because as we can clearly see from this heat map, the three forwards were pressuring the entire time that defensive back line, and they were helping each other out. A stark contrast to like I want, obviously, as a Madrid fan to point out, as our front line where Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. are constantly seen walking around and providing no defensive support or pressuring the back line. These three were a clear example of if you buy in, it'll provide good results because all three of them were up there pressuring, running back defensively. So I think it's a good point to show.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I just showed you Palmer's, and it's great to see, especially like um what they had with Noni Madueke and Nicholas Jackson. It was a lot of selfish players. Again, sometimes you do need that selfish player, but when you have two selfish players that clearly just want the glory, we saw the penalty incident with Nicholas Jackson. We saw it multiple times with Madueke, and I didn't think Madueke was as selfish until Espy pointed it out and said, like, look how he plays. He doesn't look up whenever he gets to the final third. He just wants to shoot and look down. So
Yeah.
it helps out a lot, especially again, Neto is always looking for that pass. Joao, oh my God. Is it Joao Pedro?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joao Pedro is just making that. There's so many Pedros. That's him. Yeah.
Eh, Well, it's because we have Pedro Neto, then we have Joao Pedro, and then we have Joao Neves right below that. So it's like,
I'm
it,
getting confused. But yeah, Joao Pedro is clearly going to make you that run. And again, Nicholas Jackson was making similar runs, but he wasn't finishing those plays at all. He was missing half the time.
yeah.
Like it was like in a similar situation what I would explain. And I made this analogy before. It's like who was it? Ferran Torres needs out of 10 chances, he'll miss nine but make one. And that's kind of what like Nicholas Jackson had been doing. But again, Ferran Torres improved on that and he started being more efficient. Nicholas Jackson seems to be the exact same player.
Yeah, because I think someone said, yeah, Joe. Nicholas Jackson is like would be like a world class player if he could only finish chances because he would run for the team. He was a good dribbler. He could lay off the ball and would get past defenders, but he would never finish it.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like I think we've mentioned this before. That's a common occurrence with these current day new gen strikers where they just apparently they don't know finish. And I'm like, that's the first thing you need from a striker, finishing.
Yeah. And on the other side of the coin, PSG, Jesse, what do you think went wrong? Personally, I think you can't pressure for 90 minutes for multiple games, especially with this United States heat
Hmm.
playing in the middle of the day with the sun above you. It's gonna catch up to you, and I think that's one of the main cases in this team too. Chelsea does impress as much as PSG does, and they can impress this game, and it just just bit him in the rear.
I think that was a factor. I think it was like one of the main factors, but also I want to say they looked overconfident.
Think so?
Yeah, because I think they relaxed a bit. They're thinking it's Chelsea. They've gone through the hardest part of the side because they did have the harder side of the knockout stage or the bracket stage or whatever. They were on the harder side and they went through it and they're like, oh, Chelsea's probably could be a walk in the park. But like you said, yeah, the schedule wise, the summer heat, and also they didn't rotate that much
Mm-mm.
because, like I said, the harder side they like stuck with the same number, the same 11, and they looked very tired because they weren't pressing like how they used to. They weren't moving around like they were used to. Because even the same tactic like that we've seen from the kickoff where they get the when they get the ball from kickoff and then they just send it to the opposite side so they can press so they can get a quick counter because they know they'll recover the ball so quickly.
Mm.
Because especially that midfield three of Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, and João Neves, we've seen them always constantly hounding the ball in like in the final third of the opposing team side and getting the ball and going for like a quick counter. We didn't see that
We
from
did
them
it.
this time.
Mm-mm. None of that. And if anything, this is karma. Never compare any team to the 2011 Barcelona side. Because I already saw it on Twitter before the final. They were saying it that this three midfield would easily walk the Barcelona side from 2011 with Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets. First of all, get past Chelsea first and then speak. But yeah, it just speaks volume. Again, I thought they rotated pretty well, but thinking about it now, the times they did rotate, it was when they were winning. But still, I don't think that's enough. It's a lot of miles on those legs. Nuno Mendes, again, had an incredible Champions League campaign. Obviously, still the best left back in the world. And same thing, Hakimi, he was having a great tournament, but he just got nullified again.
Well,
Maybe it's fatigue.
those two didn't rotate at all. They started I, how many games was it? Like seven?
They rotate a couple of times when they were like at halftime or something like that because they rotated against the Inter Miami game, the Real Madrid game they rotated. Again, like Real Madrid one was like around 60th, 70th minute when they were already up. But still, I don't think rotation's too much, but I don't know. I think it's just yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing, Jesse.
Yeah, and then also, like we said, that Beraldo center back right there. I don't think he's long for PSG because he looked cut out completely.
Yeah, he clearly doesn't look like he's good enough to be at this level. Again, this is a Champions League winning side, and for you to be involved, like, I think probably all three goals, because even the João Pedro one, I think they put the through ball behind him, right?
Yeah.
Because then he got Donnarumma got chipped, and again, Donnarumma saved a lot of the chances as well. How many saves did he end up having? He had two saves, well. But yeah, Beraldo is not cutting it, sadly. Probably more of a Conference League player or even a Europa League player. Just not cut out for these kind of games.
Well, I just want to cut him out completely because he is still young because he came from Sao Paulo directly to PSG. And I think this is like maybe his first or second season. So he's still like 21, 22. So he might develop later on, but currently he's not there yet.
And yeah, he has a contract until 2028. He's 21 years old, 6 feet. Yeah, maybe a loan would do him well. Again, just a lot of things. And it sucks for PSG just having two red cards instantly. So
Yeah.
it kind of sets you up for that. And again, and still people were counting Chelsea out instantly. I was one of them. I didn't think it'd
Yeah.
be that much of a factor, but clearly was. Chelsea Club World Cup champions. You can't deny that from them. They're gonna have that title for the next 4 years until the next Club World Cup starts, or if it even happens again.
Hmm.
Uh,
Now, with this win, would you say Chelsea's on the right track for the project now, or would you still say you still need to see more?
Personally, I think it's a they're on the right track. Where I still think they're on the wrong track is the transfer policies they have. Again, they just have too many wingers, dude. Like,
Hmm.
and potentially adding Rodrigo. I think they should focus on not so much on the attack, but the midfield, maybe the full. I know SP was telling me yesterday that he wants a left back, a backup left back, if anything. Some fullbacks, just defense in general. maybe a really good goalie now that they have the funds. But yeah, because like winning the Club World Cup solves a lot of their like shady transfer spending. So yeah, so far they're on the right track on the field. Off the field, when it comes to like again the sporting direction, I don't know.
Yeah, no, because I know some people were saying that, oh, they're probably they're favorites for the Premier League next year, and I still don't know how people say that because they finished fourth with a below a Man City who had one of their worst campaigns, who I think improved drastically this summer with their signings, who just didn't have enough time to gel, and then also with Art with Liverpool, who again should improve with the signings that they've made because, like we said previously, Kirkis great signing. Frimpong, another great signing. And then Florian Wirtz, who is an outstanding talent. We just got to see where Arne Slot fits him into the squad. But yeah, but like you said, I think Chelsea defensively, I backup left back, backup right back. I know they're supposedly a youth academy graduate that's supposed to be the backup right back who's supposed to be really good, but who knows with Chelsea they might sell him off for pure profit like we've seen previously.
Hmm.
Because if you think about it, if they kept their youth products, they would be in a pretty good, decent spot because they sold Lewis Hall to Newcastle, who's a very capable left back who could fill in that backup left back role, but instead they're probably going to spend it somewhere else. Timo, or is it Tino Livramento from Newcastle as well, was another Chelsea Youth Academy product. They let him go to Newcastle, and he's proven again to be one of the best young right backs in that league. Even Ian Maatsen, they sold him to Aston Villa, even though he had a great campaign with Dortmund when
Dortmund.
they made the final. So the transfer policy don't make sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. But as far as winning the Premier League, again, we gotta see. It's obviously overreactions right now because they just won recency bias and all that. But yeah, as far as the right track they're on it. Again, beating PSG is gonna just give you so much confidence. Again, till this day, and I still believe it, even though they lost, they're the best team in Europe.
Hmm.
We just gotta see how Chelsea does the rest of the summer.
Yep. And
Okay.
then I leading on to our next subject, we had uh a team we didn't mention in the top four that from Chelsea is Arsenal, who recently it seems all but confirmed that they're gonna get Gyökeres from Sporting.
And I love that signing so much. Again, we talked about it a couple episodes ago. Shesko, fantastic player. But as an Arsenal fan and an Arsenal club right now, you're in a win now situation. You cannot wait until that player develops. Gyökeres is a proven striker, going for the golden boot in a league where like the coefficient is a lot smaller when you score a goal. Yeah, it's just a great signing, and it's a great player to bet on, in my opinion.
It's awful because it's a great move, and I hate it because it's Arsenal.
But this is what I was talking to SB about yesterday. It's a great signing, but they still have so little depth in their squad. It's not gonna solve everything. Are they gonna be Premier League winners? No, they don't have enough depth still. Like they let go. Who was it? Thomas Partey.
Well, he has a case against him, so that was a smart one.
Yeah, yeah, but there's a bunch of players they let go still. It's like, oh my God, I wish I had the whole
They
thing.
let go of Thomas Partey, Jorginho left. Uh, I can't remember who else, but I think they did decently well to replace him because they did get Subamendi, who's a clear upgrade, and then they also got Norgard from Brentford, who I think is a good bench option to have because he was our captain. He's good at leadership, so he might bring something new to that team. And they also recently just signed Mosquera, who I was mentioning to you about. He's a young Spanish center back from Valencia, so he's a ball playing center back. So they're keeping a strength to strength in that back line because I think he's a very promising young center back. And then, as previously mentioned, they did sign Noni Madueke, who could play either wing, so he's a good backup to have, especially give some rest to Saka.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still not convinced because look, they let go of Keon Edwards again, who's a youngster. Butler, another youngster. Tomiyasu, he left on a free agent, so they're missing a center back. They lost Thomas Partey again. There's legal reasons. Kieran Tierney. Marquinhos, Jorginhos, Nuno Tavares, Kakuri, Haven, Marquinhos again. What this is going
Yeah, but
further.
the
Yeah.
players you're mentioning a lot weren't making the squad either way. Like Tomiyasu, he was injured for the majority of last year, so that he wasn't counted upon. And plus, they did bring in a center back in Mosquera. And plus, they still had Calafiori, who was struggling with injuries towards the end, but he should be healthy next year. So they have Lewis Scully there. They have Calafiori left back. They have Mosquera center back. They have Kiwior, who's still a center back there, who proved decent enough last year to deputize. At right back, they have Timber, and then they also have Ben White, who aren't right backs, but they've shown that they could get the job done to an extent.
But keep
So
in
I
mind,
think that
Ben White was also complaining about his game time. He wasn't too happy about that. So we'll see if he even stays in the club. There's still a whole saga left. And still, like, who are you going to replace Odegaard with? There's still no backup for Odegaard.
recently it's been said that his most backup is probably can be Ethan Nwaneri, and that's where he's going to get his game time because, like we said previously, he was saying that he was going to leave, and I think Arteta promised him to start him sometimes alongside Odegaard so he doesn't have all the reliance of playmaking duties on him, but also be his main understudy in case like he needs a break.
Still, it's still a young guy. Again, I have one of his cards, so I hopefully he does do good. But yeah, there's still a bunch of question marks. Again, Neweri, he's a great replacement for Saka whenever he does need rest. Gyökeres, fantastic. But your backup, if he goes back, he gets injured, is Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus has stated multiple times he doesn't like scoring goals. And then left wing, they still haven't really answered that question because I think Trossard is potentially making a move with some elsewhere. They still have the Martinelli, and he's also rumored to go to Saudi. Um, you think they'll splash money on Rodrigo?
I don't know because there's so many reports of Rodrigo saying that he's going to stay. So many reports saying that he'll leave. And if he does leave, I don't think it's going to be as simple as thought as before with Arsenal. Because like we said previously, Chelsea have been linked to him now. PSG have been linked to him now. Even Man U, like, and Bayern Munich. So all these teams are coming out of the woodwork because Rodrigo sure had a bad campaign last year, but he's still one of the most talented players in the world, and the potential is still there, especially if he gets to play in that his favorite left wing role. Because when we've seen him there, he's looked like one of the best players in the world, sometimes better than Vinny.
Definitely. Now, on the other side of London, the white side, Jesse, you're not too fond of it.
No, it's I'm looking at Spurs, and not to mention that they got rid of Ange, but the transfer decisions that they're making have not been, I think, the best for them because they've recently signed Kudus, who I think is a fantastic player, but again, another forward player that I don't think they should be focusing on. Morgan Gibbs White that they've all but confirmed. Th when the defensive line was last year so injury prone that they had problems covering for it, and also Matthias Tell they signed permanently, another winger slash striker.
But like he
But
hasn't really proven like to be a good player. You know,
yeah,
he signed last season on loan, and I didn't think he offered too much.
he's just like a player that has potential that they're
Hmm.
still banking on. But like I said, that defensive role is still missing. And also I want to say a defensive middle is still missing because Basuma is not the player that we thought he was. Bentancur is a shell of himself since an ACL injury. So I still think they need a defensive middle. And Pepe Sarr, I think he's still raw around the edges to carry the team from that role. Like defensive middle or at center back, they've signed two young players to become the the cover for the center backs who have proven to be so far injury prone because they haven't finished a full campaign without injuries. They've got a Japanese center back, 20 years old. I can't remember his name. Uh, I think in squad he should show.
I don't think so. Italian, yeah, Takai.
Yeah. hmm They signed him. He's gonna be a cover. He could be future in the good and also be yeah, the Croatian kid. Two good, potentially down the line players, but we're talking about the current time. I don't know about Thomas Frank, but I think he needs to focus on that right now since people won't be satisfied if he doesn't have a good campaign, especially after Ange delivered them that trophy.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to back up Ange. Honestly, like the guy that won you a trophy in so many years. So it's gonna be hard to top that. Thomas and Frank's job is instantly gonna be put on the line. There's gonna be comparisons instantly. We'll see how he does. Again, there's still the huge rumor of Christian Romero potentially leaving the club.
Uh, Transfer news, it's been reported that it looks like Pep has had probably another falling out with another player, and it's looking like he might make another what I would say is a wrong decision, similarly to Cole Palmer, who a couple years ago he wanted to go out on loan, but instead Pep said, "No, you're leaving for good," and sold him on the cheap to Chelsea. That has turned out to be an awful mistake because he's blossomed into one of the best Premier League players. Meanwhile, he gets stuck with Foden, who has been hit or miss. Recently, he has turned it up a little bit, but still not the player that what was promised. And now it looks like a similar situation might happen again with James McAtee because it looks like instead of giving him potential game time or a chance, he's gonna sell him off for a cheap price too, because it's been reported for 20, 25 million to other Premier League teams and Bundesliga. They're all hovering around to get him because I know what was it? Nottingham Forest, Newcastle are interested in him, and also Bundesliga teams as mentioned.
It sucks to see. I think just too much football can like if you're obsessed with the sport, you start overthinking things. And again, I think that's one of the situations with Pep. He refused to kind of guarantee game time when it comes to Cole Palmer. What was the other example you gave? Um,
Uh, it's like I think he's just alienating players at this point because it doesn't make sense for him to for these young players to let them leave or sell them off without giving them a chance. Like at least loan them out so they can get more experience if you think they're so raw or won't provide, an impact on the team yet. Like he's giving up on these young players way too much coming from the academy when they've been producing good academy talent.
yeah, it's kind of like it's weird because other clubs would clearly give academy players a chance. There's more than enough games to give academy players a chance. Pep is just too competitive, doesn't believe in them, doesn't want to take the risk. He'd rather go out in the market and get someone from there. So it's very, very like interesting to see that.
Yeah, I don't know if like what's happened to him recently, but yeah, I don't know why he's giving up on these academy players since that's what was one of his biggest strengths, especially in Barcelona. He would give these young players a chance, but recently it hasn't happened.
I think it's just too much pressure to win, Jesse. He can't bet on that. So it sucks to see. Clearly Man City has a great youth academy. They produce players like Musiala. I think Jadon Sancho at one point was he at City?
Yeah, he went from their academy to uh Dortmund.
Foden. So it's a great academy. Like you can't put it past it. Like at this point, you could trust them. They have players like Oscar Bob, and that's one of my favorite players at the moment. He's a youth. He came from the youth side, but I don't know, Jesse. It's just again too much pressure to win, too much money going around. You can't really bet on these wonder kids unless they're like star players. Because imagine if Lamine Yamal, that's just an example, or a Lamine Yamal or an Endrick, Arda Güler, or even La Valverde was in that Man City academy, came up through here. You think they would have gotten a chance with the Pep on that team?
Currently, not anymore. Sure, he's given chances to Rico Lewis and Oscar Bob, but there have been far and few between, not what we're used to seeing. Especially, and it's surprising because it's not like this Man City team has depth everywhere that we've seen previously. Like last year, we said they were a thin squad, and sometimes players were playing even though they were on bad form. Like previously, they would get switched out because there was someone better on the bench. But now that's not the same case anymore, and yet he's still not giving these young players a chance. Like Jack Grealish is leaving in the summer. Doku is not, still hasn't given up what we expect from him, especially with his potential. So why not keep him and give him a chance if in case they don't if their form isn't giving. But instead you're just gonna sell him, especially on the cheap, because even Cole Palmer, he went to Chelsea for at the time was like one of their cheapest signings because it was only for like 30 million. And now a similar situation where you're selling James McAtee for another 20 to 25.
And again, it doesn't make sense to selling to you directed to one of your direct competitors because it's going to affect you directly. Send them off to some other league. Like, I never understood that. It doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah,
we'll see. Maybe James McAtee fulfills his what is it called? His potential, does great. And again, it's just another slap in the face for Pep Guardiola not being able to see his talent.
yeah, and it's kind of showing if is Pep still there? Like, is he still the coach that we once knew he was, or is he finally falling off and it's time to make way for someone else?
Definitely. You guys let us know. Again, Pep is probably on his last legs for football. I don't really see him coaching another team unless it's Barcelona. But even then, like what we just said, Barcelona right now, the direction they're going into is that they want to bet on their youth academy. And if you want players, we'll buy you one or two players, but that's it. We're not gonna go into the market like a Man City, a Bayern Munich at one point, a PSG. We'll go if you want to play, check out one of the academy players. Is Pep going to do that now? We'll have to see if he even goes and wants to take
Well,
that risk.
well, even because of the recent transfers in January, it's said that he's had a falling out with Nico Gonzalez, and he's doesn't want him anymore. Like you just got him 6 months ago, and you were pushing for his signing, and he's a Barcelona product, so he fits your style, and now you just don't want him anymore. You're gonna get rid of him? Like that's
Si
insane.
Similar to Kuznov, the what is it called? He's from Dagestan, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. I forgot what country, but Uzbekistan, I think.
Yeah.
One of
Kuzma.
those countries. He pushed for his signing. He's a great center back. Yes, one of the first match he got put into was into the Wolves against Chelsea, and he didn't do too hot, but he started gaining his footing, and then he started performing well, and then out of nowhere he just gets axed from the club.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's not like it was previously mentioned that the first year under Pep is a developing period or getting accustomed to the style, and then usually the second year is when they break off. These players haven't even gotten the 1 year, and it's not like they came in during preseason or anything. They came in middle of the year. They came in January, were thrown to the fire because it was Man City's worst season in recent memory, and they were put out there and put out some fires because I want to say Gonzalez was playing well for them, and I don't understand why he's had the recent falling out. He was decent for them. He was good and never had the chance to play in a full strength Man City squad. Kuznetsov, he's a young center back that just was thrown to the wolves and said adapt. And now he gets kicked out 6 months later after why? Like it makes no sense from Pep Guardiola.
So hopefully those players, if they do end up leaving the club, go to a good club and show their talents. AC Milan is always a good club to go do that. I was gonna say Lyon, but Lyon is clearly chalked. But any club that like a top tier club like Nico Gonzalez, he's a great player. He literally went for 50 million. Was that his price tag?
It's like 50, I think so.
So he clearly has the talent. There's multiple teams that need that kind of talent. We'll see what they do with them.
Yeah. Oh,
And
speaking of Lyon, they've I think we mentioned it, but we forgot. They've what was it? They requested well apparently I forgot the word, it's top tip of my tongue, but they've come back to League On and they're competing in Europe. So that's actually pushed Crystal Palace out of Europa League. And I think they're falling down to Conference League because of the multi-owned club rule where they can't play in the same competition. And now they're getting pushed out because of it.
yeah, and I saw the video you sent me. It's like a whole like interconnected thing, like inner working of deals and like a big political game. It's kind of crazy. So they appealed it, Jesse. They appealed it and
Yeah.
they
There we
won.
go.
They
That's the
won the
word.
appeal then completely, like it's done for, or they're still going into the whole process.
I think preliminary, permit, I can't speak for
Preliminary.
it. Yeah, preliminary wise, they're back in it. So that pushes Crystal Palace out, but I don't think it's fully gone through. So there might be changes. So that's a thing to look out for.
Yeah, there's gonna be an appeal to the appeal, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
see the eventual ruling of it. It's a very interesting situation. Again, I wonder what happens to Lyon. Say they do come back, what's gonna be their squad? They're just probably gonna fight to stay alive, not focus too much on whatever European competition they're in.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Well, in recent years, they've relied on their academy because they've produced talent. So maybe that's what they're going to have to rely on again. But that your academy can only give out for so many years before it runs dry.
Yeah, and especially like again, these academy kids are going straight into playing probably 60 games a year in top flight football. So it's not easy. Again, we were just talking crap about Pep, like not using academy players, but this is a completely different situation.
It's like the two ends of the spectrum, not using them enough and then using them too much where you're not giving them the chance.
So these are the top five most expensive transfers thus yet. Um, the lists can vary depending on which list you go off of, but we're gonna say if they're gonna be a success or a flop for their team. Jesse, we're gonna start off with you. Gittins, 64 million euros to Chelsea from Borussia Dortmund. Flop or fail?
I think it's a flop. I think not because of the player, but because of the situation. He's again, we've mentioned he's a left winger. He's going in a situation where Pedro Neto just had a great performance and then gives, I think, Maresca what he wants.
Hmm.
I don't know. He's not gonna. I think he's gonna be a rotational piece, maybe in the second squad. I just don't see him getting many chances unless an injury, which you never want to see. But I think that may be the only way. But I think it's a flop.
Yeah, I think it's a flop too. Just again, situation, similar thing with you had. He's not gonna have enough game time. Pedro Neto's playing incredible. It's just gonna be too much competition because it's not only him that's he's fighting the positions for. There's Estevao, potentially Rodrigo, just so many wingers in that club. And I think it's gonna be a flop.
Yep.
Next one is Gyökeres. This one still has yet to happen, but it's on the verge and heading towards the right direction. Flop or success for Arsenal getting Gyökeres for 64 million euros.
Success. It's an unfortunate success because, like I said, he's a great player. He's a seasoned player. He's battle ready and he's ready to go compete for a title, which Arsenal are, and he might be able to push them over the line because he is, I think, the best striker available in the market. And as seeing they're getting him on a deal because it's also rumored for Mbeumo to go to Man U but at a higher price, which is crazy because I that just shows Premier League bias that he's going more for Gyökeres. But Gyökeres, he just scored like 40 goals in the Portuguese league. He's going in there, and I think he's going to succeed, especially in the system.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a success too. Finally, Arsenal get the striker they need. We've been yelling this forever. It's a great buy. I think it's gonna just pay dividends instantly. 64 million is a bargain for that player. Next
I
one
hate,
is
hate
again
it.
Arsenal, and you could hold your Arsenal hate one more time, Jesse, because it's Zubimendi. He joins from Real Sociedad for 70 million euros. Real Madrid tried to hijack the move but didn't. Jesse, flop or success?
I think this one's a little bit more ambiguous than Gyökeres. I think he's a great player, but I think obviously it's going to be a success, but I think it's not going to be a success as Arsenal fans think about it because he is a defensive middle. He is going to be sharing the partnership with Declan Rice. He's not going to give you numbers per se, like the goals that they would expect from a high profile move, but he's going to set up Arsenal to play better football and give them more stabilization in that midfielder. And they're not going to notice it unless they actually understand football. So I think he's a success, but it will be misunderstood.
I think it's a success as well. He's just gonna free up Declan Rice from any defensive duties, well, like a majority of the defensive duties. And Zubimendi, he's a fantastic player, controls the tempo. He's gonna know what to do, and especially with that back line. And Arteta, who's a defensive mastermind, he'll do great. Now, number two, Wolves has sold Mateus Cunha to Manchester United for 74 million euros. Flop or success, Jesse?
I think it's a flop. I think they signed him to be a striker, or that's what he was billed as to fill their goal scoring problems, and that's not what he is. He's a secondary striker at most. He is for that midfielder. He's going to be sharing that uh what we've mentioned, that 3-4-3 spot with Bruno Fernandes, both sharing like sort of 10 roles. And I don't think he's going to get put up the numbers that people expect, and they're going to complain again of what he is. So yeah, I think it's a flop.
Again, I'm with you. I think he's a flop. He's just not going to put up enough goals, especially for that price tag. Gyökeres was 10 million less and scored a bunch of more goals compared to him. So it's going to be a flop.
Yeah.
Now for number one, it is Florian Wirtz joining from Leverkusen to Liverpool, 120, 25 million euros. Flop or success?
I think it's gonna be a success. I
I go ahead.
yeah, previously we've mentioned he was gonna fail because of the system, but I don't know, something in me has changed where I think Arne Slot's gonna figure out what to do with him, and plus he's just a supreme talent that I think will transfix the system and just show how good he is and carry Liverpool again to another title.
I think he's going to be a delayed success, Jesse. He's going to have a rough one first season, maybe half of the second season. But I think once they start looking for him being the primary ball handler, primary solution maker, and creative playmaker, he's going to be probably one of the best players in the world. Again, they have Salah, who they just renewed, and I think he's still going to be the primary like person they
Hmm.
lean on. But eventually, I think Wirtz is going to pay dividends and start succeeding for Liverpool. I think his best side is the right side, and that's currently occupied by Salah. So we'll see how it goes for the first two seasons. But yeah, I think eventually he's going to be a success.
Yeah, I just think he's too good not to be a success.
Definitely. And surely the last part of the episode is us trying to get 9 for 9 in the grid. We got the last one, right?
Yep.
The last one we got it. This one seems a little bit more interesting. We got to know our Lyon players, our Dortmund players, our Lazio players that are South American, played in Liverpool, and have UCL goals. Jesse, this is tough. I think the toughest one's gonna be Serie A. It's gonna definitely test our knowledge.
Okay. You
Okay.
ready?
Yeah, where do you want to start off?
Uh,
Do we just go top left?
sure.
Okay. South American nationality and played in Lyon. I have a couple in my mind. I want to say the first one that comes into my mind, old FIFA 15 favorite card, Dante.
He played for Lyon.
Yeah, didn't he? Now you're having me question myself.
I was thinking more of Alex, the Brazilian, the center back.
Alex,
I
do
think
you
he
know
played
his
for
name?
Lyon.
Because you know Brazilians have really long names.
No, I don't. I don't.
Alexander Ba, Vitinho, Alexander Robertson. What about Fabio? One of the Okay, this is
Yeah,
tougher. You know which Fabio I'm talking about, right? The
yeah,
ex-Man
yeah,
U player, one of the
yeah.
twins.
I think
Oh,
Fabio da Silva. Try that.
no look. Wait, I just saw no. No, that one's too early. So Fabio Silva from like 2019 to 2025. Oh my God, we can't think of a
That's not
Leon
him.
player.
That's not him. That's not him. Uh,
Teixeira, didn't he? No, not. Oh, who's the Uruguayan? You just want to say Juninho?
no, I want to put him for goal because I can't think of anyone else who scored.
All right. Um, who's that Uruguayan? No, that's Aurora. Oh my God. Is it Enrique? All right. Well, we'll go to UCL and
Yeah, Juninho.
let's get something on the board. Okay, which one is it, Jesse?
Uh, that one, the first one, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know any Lyon players that played for Liverpool?
Oh, I'm still thinking it was South American National League. Give me a second. This is a
Oof,
tough one, Jerry.
that is.
We're gonna get called out for this one.
I know. I'm
Uh,
telling you, I think Dante played for them. Oh my God. Is it no, Luis Gustavo? No, he didn't play for them, right?
for
Oli-
Olympique or Dortmund?
Olympic.
Luis Gustavo. I'm questioning everything now, Jerry, because we don't get like any redos. It's just one and it's over.
All right, we could go on to Dortmund for now. Dortmund, South American. Why am I drawing a blank now? Uh, no, Dante played for Liverpool. Luis Gustavo. What's that other Brazilian center back I was thinking of that played in Dortmund? Oh my
Didn't
God.
Ramos play for them? Wasn't he like South American? Remember the striker?
Ah, Gonzalo, Sergio Ramos, Mario Ramos. Juan
But you know,
Manuel. Yeah, I
you know what?
remember who, but like I can't remember his full name.
Uh,
David Ramos, Noelia Ramos, Ruben Ramos, Diogo Ramos.
uh,
I'll put Couto. Go young.
Yankoto, yeah.
Dortmund and Liverpool.
Nuri Sahin,
Yeah, it's a good one. Um,
Marco Reus, Lewandowski. Just get the money.
okay.
12%. What?
South American nationality and Lazio. Felipe Anderson. Pepe Reina, ¿no?
Yeah, cool.
And
Cool.
did Milinkovic Savic play for Lazio? Or am I thinking of another team?
He did play for Lazio.
But did he play Champions League football?
That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, Immobile,
Oh, yeah.
ex Atletico Madrid. Now, coming back to this.
We're back to this. Olympic.
Oh my
Oh,
God. Is there any current Liverpool player that played in
N-
Olympique Lyon?
not that I can think of.
Goalkeeper. No. Um, Defender. What do I want to say? Pepe Reina again. South American nationality.
Dude, we've had players we just can't. No, we don't know their names.
Telling you, I think Dante played it. I'm trying to think of anyone else. I literally stopped playing FIFA this year too, so I would have known more. I know someone's screaming right now, and I just can't get it. Tap the logo for help. Olympique Lyonnais. Liverpool Olympique Lyon.
You just want to go for it? Fuck it.
But which Dante?
I don't know. Oh, well, it's over.
Can't go 9 for 9. You know any Liverpool? Leon. Fernando Torres? No. Why do I feel like I have to go? We have to go through like with a nomad or something. I'll give you 5 seconds, just or else I'm just gonna give up. I don't even know what player to guess. Two.
I could see a picture of a player in my head. I just can't think of his name. I think he's Argentinian.
Pared? No, Paredes didn't play. Not Mascherano. Carlos
Yeah.
Tevez? No. And he didn't even play for Liverpool.
Maxi Lopez, just go with that. Yeah.
Nope. There's 37. Dejan Shaqiri,
Ooh,
Barros, Sissoko.
Lovren. That's what, 3, 5? What's the last one? It's
Alex
yeah, we
Greenwood.
went. The only one would have been like Lovren and Shaqiri, but we didn't. I completely forgot he played for Lyon.
Who, Shaqiri?
Yeah,
Yeah, same. Let me look up
I got
Lyon South American players because like that one I think was so bad.
I gotta look up Alex's.
Nicolas Tagliafico, Jesse. Maybe it's that Argentinian you're thinking of.
Yeah, there we go. I knew it. I was like, dude, there's what's his name?
Lucas Paqueta,
Oh yeah. Wait. Oh yeah.
Tete, Enrique
No,
Silva, Thiago Mendes,
Alex did
Bruno
not play for them.
Bruno Guimaraes, Rafael. I'm telling you, that wasn't Fabio. It was Rafael, the other brother.
Did
Fred,
Dante play for
Nilmar.
them?
Did they? I don't know.
I'm looking him
No,
up.
not that I see.
He played for Lille
Yeah.
and then Nice.
Dude,
He
that was
still
bad.
plays for Nice.
Huh.
He's 41.
Yeah, I guess the wrong French club. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We are so bad. We forgot players' names. Again, Brazilians just have so many names, but I still get I guess the wrong one, Jesse. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching the last video. I had the most views this year. But share this with a friend. Peace.
Peace.